So you're telling me that the Blackhawks won this game thanks to their power play scoring not once, but twice, and neither of those goals came on more than a minute and a half of 5-on-3 time? You're telling me that. Bullshit.
Sucker blood. I want to overact.
What was that?
This is going to be a good game.
Not too shabby. The best game ever. Hello and welcome to Hawks Recap. Game 41 has just concluded for the Blackhawks, which means they're officially halfway through the struggle of a season, although the struggle has been a little less as of late, as the Blackhawks finish off 2018 with the win. 3-2 in overtime over the Colorado Avalanche, their second straight win in Denver. Last one coming just about a week ago. So finishing off 2018 strong feels pretty darn good. Now, I'm not going to lie, feels kind of weird that we're beating the Avalanche, or at least being successful against them this year, because, well, they have a lot of good players. They have a lot of talent on their team, a lot of good players that can score, and Varlamov usually is really good against us and stuff, but somehow we're beating them. But I guess if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, because years back when we were good and winning cups and stuff, the Avalanche, even though they weren't making the playoffs, were giving us fits and beating us, and so I guess the roles are kind of reversed now. That might just be the relationship that we have with the Avalanche for the foreseeable future. Who knows? So Colin Delia gets the start in net again after his stellar performance in the last game, but unlike the last two times these two teams met, Varlamov is in net for the Avalanche, and like I mentioned previously, Varlamov is usually really good against us, but the Hawks get off to a quick start in this one. They jump out of the gate firing, and not even 2 minutes in, they get a power play, and they capitalize on it. Not only do they capitalize, but Patrick Kane initiates showtime. The puck comes out to Kaner, he does a little spinorama, whatever way it was, and he throws across ice to DeBrincat one-timer. Boom, see you later, it's 1-0 Blackhawks. The Blackhawks would ride that momentum for the next 8 minutes or so, really forechecking well, really getting sticks in passing lanes, clogging up that neutral zone. The Avalanche really just couldn't get a whole lot of speed going. Hawks would then counterattack off that, moving the puck well, getting it up ice. I mean, they looked really good. And then about halfway through this period, Kaner says, "Showtime's not done, folks." Kane gets the puck at the blue line, gives it to Strome, who carries it into the offensive zone. A little 3-on-2 here. He drops it to Anisimov, who then one-touch passes it to Kane, who is opened up, and he unleashes a one-timer and blows it by Varlamov. It's 2-0 Hawks. The Blackhawks would take 2 penalties in the latter half of that first period, which really gave the Avalanche some momentum. They have a really good power play, by the way, and, well, they convert on their second of those 2 power plays. Mikko Rantanen just in tight, screen on Delia, can't really see anything, and really there's not a whole lot of room for Rantanen to shoot this shot, but he finds that space and it goes in, and it's now 2-1 heading into the second period. Now the Hawks and Avalanche both had 9 shots on goal in the second period, but I definitely thought the Avalanche were the better team in that second period, which I guess you got to credit the Hawks defense here for limiting the amount of shots they got, because the Avalanche were carrying the play the entire period. I'm surprised they didn't score sooner than they did. It took a delayed call with about a minute and a half left in the period for the Avalanche to score. McKinnon with a slap shot from the point. Just, I don't know if it hits anybody in front, but just blows it by the traffic and past Delia, and it's now 2-2, a tie game going into the third. In the third period, the Blackhawks had 3 power play opportunities, including a 5-on-3 for more than a minute and a half, and they could not take advantage of it. I don't know how the Blackhawks look worse on a 5-on-3 than they do on a 5-on-4, because they don't really look good on a 5-on-4 for the most part. They've looked better as of recently, but man, it's just weird. But when they didn't score on the 5-on-3, all I could think about was Coach Q somewhere saying if you can't score on a 5-on-3, you don't deserve to win the game. And when they didn't score on their 5-on-3, I had serious doubts about the Blackhawks winning this game, because when they didn't score on that 5-on-3, the Avalanche got a huge momentum boost. They just absolutely took off after that when they killed it. They had offensive zone time for days. For days. I am completely surprised they didn't score after that. I guess the Hawks kind of got lucky in the sense that all that momentum got thwarted with a little over a minute left in the game when the Hawks went to the power play for their final time. They wouldn't be able to score in regulation to finish it off, but they would take that power play into overtime. And because of overtime rules, the power play is neither 5-on-4 or 5-on-3. Instead, it's 4-on-3. And I guess, well, that just works for the Hawks. And hopefully didn't leave early because Kaner says Showtime gets an encore. Kane takes a shot. Varlamov makes the save, but a rebound gets knocked down out midair skillfully by Jonathan Toews. He corrals the puck, does a little stick handle, passes it back out to Kane in the slot area, and he just buries it home, and the Hawks win in overtime 3-2. What a nice way to finish off 2018. Finish off a year that was a bit of a struggle for the Hawks. I mean, if you remember back to last year, the early months of 2018, Crawford missed all of those months. Blackhawks pretty much nosedived second half of last season. And then beginning of this year, the latter months of 2018, well, Hawks started off pretty decently and then kind of tanked after that. 2 8-game losing streaks. Coach Q gets fired. Things didn't look very good. But we finished 2018 on a high note. Say goodbye 2018. Hello 2019. 2 straight wins with Colin Delia in net. Do we go into 2019? Do we start 2019 with the Winter Classic with Colin Delia in net? You'd think so. I mean, he's played well. He's got the hot hand. But my gut still tells me that we're going to see Cam Ward starting in net for the Hawks come January 1st. But hey, look, that's just my gut feeling. The truth of the matter is, I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know. I don't make those calls. But I'm fairly certain that we could probably all agree that we'd rather be seeing Corey Crawford starting the Winter Classic. We wish he was healthy, but he's not. But it seems like Corey Crawford will be coming back sometime in January here, which would be great to see. But the fact of the matter is the Blackhawks, halfway through their season, have 36 points. Last year at this point, they had 46 points. They finished with 76 points last year. We're on pace for 72 points this year. Is it out of the realm of possibility for the Hawks to make the playoffs this year? No. But it would take a monumental run. It would take an extremely good run in the second half of this season to even sniff the playoffs. And I just don't see it happening with whoever in net. Really doesn't matter. I just don't see it happening. They've played well as of recently, yes. But, I mean, that's a real tall order for them to do. So, I don't know. I guess all I'm trying to say is let's just hope for better in 2019, wherever that means. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I hope you enjoyed it, and I think for the Winter Classic, I'm going to do a live stream. I think that's a good idea. Although, now that I think about it, since it's noon right after New Year's Eve, this could be a really bad idea, but I'm going to still do it. Join me January 1st, noon, right here on the YouTubes for a live stream during the game. If you'd like to, I would enjoy if you joined us. Hang out a bit, talk the game, talk stuff, whatever, doesn't matter. Hope to see you there. But until then, like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you then.